Let's go ahead with another Section A question today, which is Sprint Limited and Iron Limited. You should assume that today's date is 1st of September. Your manager has received a letter from Christina. Christina is the managing director of Sprint Limited and owns the whole of that company's ordinary share capital. Sprint Limited is a client of your firm. In addition to some ethical considerations which have been raised by your manager, advice is required in respect of corporation tax for a long period of account, tax implications of Iron Limited being owned by either Christina personally or by Sprint Limited, registration for VAT, relief available for trading losses of Olympic Limited, which is wholly owned by Sprint Limited, and the relief available for research and development cost of Olympic Limited. The following exhibits provide information relevant to the question. Sprint Limited and Iron Limited. Extract from the letter from Christina. Work to be carried out. Email from manager. This information should be used to answer the question requirements. I intend to purchase the whole of the ordinary share capital of Iron Limited on 1st of November 25. My company Sprint Limited purchases components from Iron Limited, so the two companies will fit well together. I hope to increase the value of Iron Limited over the next 3 to 5 years and then to sell it at a profit. I need your advice on the following matters. Iron Limited has not been managed particularly well. It has had significant bad debts and as a result needs more cash. To help determine its financial requirements, I need to know how much corporation tax Iron Limited will have to pay in respect of its results for the 16-month period ending 30th June 2026. Iron Limited's tax adjusted trading income for this period is budgeted to be only £30,000. In fact, if we discover further problems, it is quite possible that Iron Limited will make a trading loss for this period, but please base your calculation on the budgeted profit of 30,000. Iron Limited has no income other than trading income. Following the acquisition, Iron Limited will sell a small industrial building for 1,60,000 and an item of fixed machinery for 13,700 on 1st of December 2025. The industrial building and the item of fixed machinery were both purchased second hand on 1st of June 2020 for 1 lakh and 13,500. At that time, rollover relief of 31,800 was claimed against acquisition of industrial building and 3200 against the acquisition of the item of fixed machinery. पूछा क्या है? ठीक है. I would like you to prepare briefing notes covering the following issues. There will be quite a few points to draw to Christina's attention, so keep each one fairly brief. Communication skill के जो marks है, ठीक है, we will discuss how to get those marks and how to improve that. But one instruction that they expect you to follow is keep each one fairly brief. मतलब don't give very long explanations. Short में आपको उसको wind up करना है. ठीक है. Assuming the entire ordinary share capital of Iron Limited is purchased by Christina personally on 1st of November, calculate the corp tax payable by Iron Limited in respect of the 16-month period ending 30th June 2006 and state when this tax will be due for payment. ठीक है. Assuming entire share capital is acquired by Christina, calculate corp tax payable by Iron Limited in respect of the 16-month period ending 30th June 26 and state what will be the due date for payment. अब इसको अप्रोच कैसे करना है? ठीक है. When there is a long period of account, how should you ideally divide it? 12 plus the remaining months. Correct. तो यहाँ पे 12 plus कितना होगा? 16 होगा. What is Iron Limited's current financial year end? कुछ लिखा है ऐसा? यहाँ पे देखो. Anything that they have given with respect to current year end of Iron Limited.
So,
Iron Limited currently has an accounting reference date of 28th February. Following its acquisition, however, its next set of accounts will be for the 16-month ending 30th June 2026. So let's understand how to process this information. Part A. 16-month period of account to be split as 12 plus 4. ठीक है. So you will have year ended 28th Feb 26 and 4 months ended 30th June 26. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So अभी आपको इस पीरियड के लिए यू हैव टू डू 2 सेट्स ऑफ कैलकुलेशंस. ठीक है. उसके बाद आपको और टैक्स लाइबिलिटी वगैरह निकालना है, वो करते हैं बाद में. अज्यूमिंग कैलकुलेट द कॉर्पोरेट टैक्स लाइबिलिटी. ठीक है. मेन क्वेश्चन का रिक्वायरमेंट क्या है? मेन रिक्वायरमेंट है कैलकुलेट द कॉर्प टैक्स पेएबल बाय आयन लिमिटेड. ठीक है. अब look at the data and see where can we get the information about income earned by iron limited. ठीक है. अब इस पैराग्राफ में तो कुछ नहीं है. लुक एट दिस पैरा एंड टेल मी व्हाट income has been given to you and what detail has been given to you. 16 मंथ का बजटेड प्रॉफिट कितना है? 30,000, राइट? 16 मंथ का बजटेड प्रॉफिट इज 30,000. सो यू विल हैव टू स्प्लिट इट 12 and 4, है ना?
22,500 and 7,500.
करेक्ट. सॉरी, माय फॉर्मेटिंग का जो कीड़ा है ना, वो मेरा खत्म नहीं होता है. ओके. बजटेड टैक्स एडजस्टेड ट्रेडिंग प्रॉफिट 12 months to 28th Feb, 30,000 into 12 by 16 and 4 months to 30th June, 30,000 into 4 by 16. ठीक है. 30,000 into 12 by 16, 30,000 into 4 by 16. ठीक है. अभी नेक्स्ट पैरा देखिए. आयन लिमिटेड हैज नो इनकम अदर देन ट्रेडिंग इनकम. फॉलोइंग द एक्विजिशन, Iron Limited will sell a small building for 1,60,000 and an item of machinery for 13,700 on 1st of December. The industrial building and the item of fixed machinery were both purchased second hand on 1st of June 20 for 1 lakh and 13,500 respectively. At the time, rollover relief of 31,800 was claimed against acquisition of industrial building and 3,200 against item of fixed machinery. It was purchased for 1 lakh and rollover relief was claimed against industrial building. Now, if rollover relief was claimed against industrial building, rollover relief से क्या होता है? The cost of acquisition gets revised. You have a revised base cost, है ना? So, यहाँ पे working note 1, calculation of capital gain on disposal of building. ठीक है. What is sale consideration? 1,60,000 less revised base cost of acquisition 1 lakh minus 31,200 gain rolled over.
31,800, sir.
31,800. Okay. 31,800 gain rolled over. ठीक है. कितना हो जाएगा? 68,200. यहाँ आएगा आपका चार्जेबल गेन
91,800.
91,800. ठीक है. सो चार्जेबल गेन on disposal of building, working note 1, 91,800. ठीक है. उसके बाद सेम थिंग हैपेंड फॉर मशीनरी. 3,200 वाज रोल्ड ओवर अगेंस्ट मशीनरी, राइट? तो
Yes, sir.
कैसे होगा कैलकुलेट?
13,700 minus new cost of acquisition, revised cost of acquisition.
Okay.
3,200 is a
But
frozen gain.
tell me something. ये जो 3,200 का बात हो रहा है, क्या हुआ था? There was a machinery which was purchased. That machinery was sold. Maybe there was some asset that was purchased, and that asset was sold, और उसके प्रोसीड से you purchased new machinery. अब 3,200 का जो gain है, that is rolled over against fixed machinery. Do you agree that fixed machinery is a depreciating asset?
Yes, sir.
So at that time, is the rule for depreciating assets different than regular, मतलब rollover में depreciating assets का rule कुछ अलग है क्या?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It will be freezed until it is disposed of, or whichever is earlier, 10 years of the machine purchased.
Okay. So in this case, 3,200 frozen gain will get decrystallized. It will get charged, and 13,700 minus 13,500, 200 का आपका होगा chargeable gain on fixed machinery, right?
Yes, sir.
Working note 2, calculation of capital gain on disposal of machinery. Sale consideration minus base cost of acquisition. Sale consideration 13,700, base cost of acquisition 13,500. इतना होगा आपका chargeable gain 13,200, sorry 200, and gain of 3,200 was rolled over against a depreciating asset. That means gain was frozen. This frozen gain will now get taxed when machine is disposed of. ठीक है? On disposal of machine, working note 2, 200, and frozen gain now taxable 3,200. Make sense? Any
Yes, sir.
other? इसमें check करो. Is there any other item? Is there anything else?
No, sir.
No. ठीक है. So, what is taxable total profit? This much. ठीक है? अब इस पे टैक्स लगाना पड़ेगा, है ना? What will be the, acha, tell me, how will you calculate tax here? The thresholds for corporate tax payment, I mean, how will you go about that? How will you determine the corporate tax rate? यहाँ पे you need to look at some other information also. ठीक है? So Christina, she owns which companies? So Iron Limited and Sprint Limited, both are companies owned by Christina, right? So through a common owner, they are associated with each other. ठीक है? So that is one part. And any other company which is a part of this associated companies wala thing for tax calculation?
No, sir, just two.
ओलंपिक लिमिटेड के बारे में क्या लिखा है? ओलंपिक लिमिटेड is wholly owned by Sprint Limited, right? And who owns Sprint Limited? Christina owns Sprint Limited, correct?
Yes, sir.
So what can we say about it now? Olympic Limited, Sprint Limited, Iron Limited. Are all of these companies associated with each other because of Christina?
Yes, sir.
Yes. All of these companies are associated with each other because of Christina. So, is it, I mean, can we do this? जो आपका upper और lower threshold है, do you agree that the upper and lower thresholds will both get revised?
Yes, sir. It will be reduced by divide by 3.
Divided by 3. ठीक है. So, working note 3, calculation of tax payable. Year ended 28th Feb 26, है ना? So, आपका अपर लिमिट हो जाएगा 2,50,000 डिवाइडेड बाय 3 एंड आपका लोअर लिमिट हो जाएगा 50,000 divided by 3. Is this okay? Does this make sense?
Yes, sir.
तो if this is the upper limit and lower limit, ठीक है, check where does your profit fall. Does profit fall within the upper or lower limits, or is it beyond that for the first, for year ended 28th Feb?
Beyond, sir.
Beyond that. So इस पे सीधा सीधा 25% tax.
Yes, sir.
Profit for year ended 28th Feb 26 is 1,17,700, which is more than upper limit. ठीक है. So tax rate applicable is 25%. Corporation tax at the rate of 25%. ठीक है. अब let's look at 4 months ended 30th June 26. इसका कैसे होगा? अपर एंड लोअर लिमिट बताइए.
83,333 will be into 4 divided by 12.
Correct. So this into 4 by 12, this into 4 by 12. So 2,50,000 upon 3 into 4 by 12, 50,000 upon 3 into 4 by 12. Profit for 4 months ended 30th June 26 is 7,500, which is between lower and upper limits. ठीक है. If it is between lower and upper limits तो क्या होगा?
Will be charged
Marginal
at
relief.
25%, but there's a marginal relief.
So tax rate applicable will be 25%, but there is a marginal relief available. कितना होगा आपका marginal relief? Tell me. Upper limit minus 27,778, sorry, 27,778 minus क्या करना पड़ेगा? 7,500, right?
Yes, sir.
Into
3 divided by 200.
कुछ और करना है कि इतना ही काफी है?
It's the same only, sir, because TTP and augmented profits are the same.
Correct. So now tell me how much is the amount of marginal relief?
304.
So now you will get your tax payable, right? Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. अब सिर्फ यही पूछा है कि ड्यू डेट भी पूछा है?
Due date, sir.
एंड स्टेट व्हेन दिस टैक्स विल बी ड्यू फॉर पेमेंट. आई थिंक आपने रिकॉर्डेड लेक्चर्स में सुना होगा, आई कीप ऑन सेइंग कि इफ यू वांट टू मूव टू अ मेरिट वाला zone, where you get a rank, then remembering dates and all will give you those additional 1 to 1 2 marks each time. यहाँ पे दोनों दो ड्यू डेट बताने हैं, तो देर आर 2 marks अवेलेबल फॉर दैट. ठीक है. अब इसका ड्यू डेट क्या आएगा? ईयर एंडेड
E-
28 Feb 26. बताइए.
30th November 2026.
अच्छा. टेल मी समथिंग. विल यू हैव योर क्वार्टरली पेमेंट रिक्वायरमेंट? वो कैसे डिटरमाइन होगा? What are your, see, if your profits are below the threshold, then you will not have to make quarterly payments, correct? तो अभी आप क्वार्टरली पेमेंट्स कैसे, मतलब हाउ विल यू कैलकुलेट द थ्रेशोल्ड, सो टू से? कुछ, डू यू रिमेम्बर द रूल फॉर क्वार्टरली पेमेंट्स? ट्राई टू रिकलेक्ट.
The threshold should be divided by the number of associated companies.
Threshold should be divided by the number of associated companies. Okay. What are the, what is the number of associated companies here? Three. Correct.
E-
What are the threshold limits? Tell me. इसके लिए क्या होता है थ्रेशोल्ड?
15 lakhs.
रेगुलर बताइए, फिर उसको ऊपर नीचे करेंगे. 15 लाख कैसे आया आपका? इज दैट द थ्रेशोल्ड, और यू हैव एडजस्टेड इट फॉर समथिंग? बताइए बताइए, क्विक. व्हाट आर द थ्रेशोल्ड्स? लवीना, हाउ डिड यू अराइव एट 15 लाख? टेल मी दैट.
Sir, it was written augmented profits for the accounting period is more than 15 lakh.
ओके. सो यहाँ पे व्हाट आर ऑगमेंटेड प्रॉफिट्स? दे आर वेल बिलो 15 lakhs ना. एंड
Yes,
थ्री
sir.
मंथ्स के लिए कितना होगा? 3 मंथ्स के लिए 15 lakhs डिवाइडेड बाई 3. सॉरी, 3 मंथ्स नहीं, 4 मंथ्स के लिए 3 एसोसिएटेड कंपनीज. 15 लाख डिवाइडेड बाई 3 इंटू 4/12 होगा, है ना? सो इट विल स्टिल बी बिलो द थ्रेशोल्ड लिमिट्स, राइट?
Yes, sir.
सो देर इज नो नीड टू मेक पेमेंट बाय इंस्टॉलमेंट्स, वेरी क्लियरली.
Yes, sir.
सो इसका ड्यू डेट क्या होगा? 10 मंथ्स के बाद होता है ना ड्यू डेट? कितने मंथ्स के बाद होता है?
Yes, sir.
10 मंथ्स के बाद. सो मार्च अप्रैल मई जून जुलाई अगस्त सितंबर अक्टूबर नवंबर एंड दिसंबर. तो दिसंबर 31st होगा, फर्स्ट होगा, क्या होगा आपका ड्यू डेट? 9 मंथ्स होता है, 10 मंथ्स होता है, क्या होता है?
9 months and 1 day after
नाइन
the end
मंथ्स
of the
एंड वन
accounting
डे
period.
सो मार्च अप्रैल मई जून जुलाई अगस्त सितंबर अक्टूबर नवंबर. नवंबर 30th तक 9 मंथ्स हो गया. ड्यू डेट फॉर पेमेंट विल बी 1st of Feb 2026. मेक सेंस?
1st of December
सॉरी,
2026, sir.
1st of December. 1st of December 2026. और इसका कितना होगा? Again, say
April.
9 months and 1 day.
1st April
July, August, September, October,
2027.
November, December, Jan, Feb, March. So ये हो जाएगा 1 April 2027। ठीक है। ये करके आपको कितने मार्क्स मिलेंगे? ये करके आपको मिलेंगे पूरे 12 मार्क्स। ठीक है। इज एवरीवन विथ मी?
Yes, sir.
Now, look at the next one, ownership of Ion Limited. ठीक है। एक बार you read this, I'll just get some water, then we'll continue. ठीक है। आप पढ़ो इसको, I'll be back in a minute. चलो, अब explain the tax matters which Christina needs to be aware of in order to decide whether ordinary share capital of Ion Limited should be purchased by herself personally or by Sprint Limited. You should assume that Ion Limited will be required to register for VAT. You should consider the tax implications of both ownership of Ion Limited and the eventual sale of Ion Limited by either Christina or Sprint Limited. You should recognize that regardless of who purchases and subsequently sells Ion Limited, Christina intends to use the proceeds for personal purposes and that she is a higher rate taxpayer with a substantial amount of investment income. I need to decide whether I should purchase the shares in Ion Limited personally or whether the shares should be purchased by Sprint Limited. I will be the managing director of Ion Limited regardless of who purchases the shares. My preference would be to own Ion Limited personally. However, I would be interested to learn of any advantages to the company being owned by Sprint Limited. When Ion Limited is eventually sold, I intend to use the proceeds to purchase a holiday home in Italy. Now, what should your thought process be? किस लाइन पे आपने सोचना चाहिए? और if Sprint Limited purchases Ion Limited तो क्या बेनिफिट होगा?
There can be adjustment in the trading losses and capital losses.
So, if Sprint Limited makes a loss for the period ending 30th, Sprint Limited नहीं, Ion Limited makes a loss after acquisition, a proportion of that loss could be surrendered to the group companies, right? तो group companies को help हो जाएगा।
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ion Limited is joining Sprint Limited's cap. It will join, as you said, the capital gains group also. So capital loss made by Sprint Limited. If check करो Sprint Limited को कोई capital loss gain हो रहा है क्या? Sprint Limited will sell a warehouse. This will result in a capital loss of 18,000. है ना? Right now, the capital loss made by Sprint Limited, if they become a part of the same capital gains group, this loss could be adjusted against or relieved against chargeable gains to be realized by Ion Limited on वो जो machinery बेचने पे and when they sold the industrial building there were certain capital gains, so this loss could be adjusted against those capital gains, right?
Yes, sir.
Another benefit that you will have is which I think is a very peculiar benefit of rollover relief in case of companies. कि sale कोई भी करे and purchase also is done by anyone else in the group, that still entitles you for the relief, right? So I could be the one purchasing the new asset, whereas the old asset is sold by another company in the group. Still क्या होगा? I will be, so the loss made, so capital gain made in case of or made by one particular company, it is quite possible that it could be adjusted against the rollover can be done against assets purchased by, some other company in the group. So it's not necessary that the qualifying business asset has to be purchased by the same company which sold the asset, right? Qualifying business asset on which you are going to claim rollover relief, it can be claimed by, it can be purchased by the other company, and you can adjust the rollover can be done against that. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
राइट. एक और बेनिफिट जो हो सकता है, एनी इंट्रा ग्रुप ट्रांसफर ऑफ असेट्स वुड बी बेसिकली अ नो गेन नो लॉस ट्रांसफर.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any disadvantage that you see when Ion Limited joins the Sprint Limited group? जेनेरिक तरीके से सोचो.
Sir, our upper limit and lower limit was reduced.
Okay. Then anything with respect to AIA? Will AIA be split between the three companies? ऐसा कुछ हो सकता है?
Yes. Yes.
AIA can be split. तो if Christina were to acquire, तो ऐसा नहीं होता, right? If Christina were to acquire, it wouldn't get split. वहां पे क्या है? Christina, if there are two businesses which are operated out of the same premises, तो क्या मतलब AIA split होता है, right? Otherwise, AIA does not get split. Here, because they are related companies in that manner, AIA का split होगा, which would not happen if Christina were to purchase the shares herself and the ownership was not through Sprint Limited. But mostly क्या दिख रहा है? Mostly तो मुझे advantages ही मिल रहे हैं यहाँ पर. What do you think?
Yes, sir.
एडवांटेजेस ही मिल रहे हैं, ठीक है. ओके, चलो एक बार देखो तो, रीड दिस पार्ट वंस. इट्स अ स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड थियरी क्वेश्चन, बट यू हैव टू स्ट्रक्चर इट अकॉर्डिंग टू द फैक्ट्स ऑफ द केस. वो इंपॉर्टेंट है. Just one moment, huh, guys. Okay. ठीक है. Have you gone through this?
Yes, sir. Done.
Okay. See, कितने सारे multiple concepts we are able to revise in one go, ना? Now let's look at the VAT part. Set out the matters which Christina should be aware of in relation to the need for Ion Limited to register for VAT and implications for that company of registering late. Matters which she should be aware of in relation to the need for Ion Limited to register for VAT. Ion Limited is not registered for VAT. The current management of the company has told me that the level of bad debts is keeping the company's cash receipts in a 12-month period below the registration limit of 90. However, I suspect that when I have the opportunity to look at the figures in more detail, it will become apparent that the company should be registered. See, bad debts अलग बात है और टर्नओवर अलग बात है. डू यू अग्री? बैड डेट्स की वजह से टर्नओवर कम नहीं होता है, टर्नओवर तो टर्नओवर ही रहेगा, राइट? सो
Yes, sir.
व्हाट कैन यू से हियर? क्या पूछा है? थिंग्स दैट क्रिस्टीना शुड बी अवेयर ऑफ इन रिलेशन टू रजिस्टरिंग आयन लिमिटेड फॉर वैट. कैन यू रजिस्टर? अच्छा, चेक करो तो इज देयर अ सिग्निफिकेंट चंक ऑफ ट्रांजैक्शंस हैपनिंग बिटवीन स्प्रिंट लिमिटेड एंड आयन लिमिटेड? फर्स्ट पैराग्राफ देखो, एक्सट्रैक्ट फ्रॉम द लेटर फ्रॉम क्रिस्टीना. What do you see there?
There are transactions between them.
There are transactions. अब if they are working as separate companies, अगर ग्रुप रजिस्टर करेंगे तो क्या होगा?
It will
If
be exempt if there's transaction
it
between them.
correct, it will be exempted. But if you don't register yourself as a group, तो क्या होगा?
And
Then
if
share
matlab, if
action
you
will be
don't register,
subjected to tax between the group companies. So
yes,
group registration is critical here, in my opinion. है ना? So you should give that suggestion to the client कि group register करवा लो. It would so the intra-group transactions between the companies, they will not be subjected to that. And effective control, because see, Christina has effective control of all the companies, then it becomes easier for them to tackle it together. You know the benefits of group registration. Make sense?
yes, sir.
Okay. अब तीन ही मार्क्स का था वैट. 12 + 12, 24 + 3, 27. Now, Olympic Limited will commence Project Whistle in 2026. As part of the project, Olympic Limited will engage in scientific research, some of which will be qualifying research and development revenue expenditure. Due to the significant cost involved, Olympic Limited is expected to make a trading loss in the year ended 30th June 2027. Please explain how any trading loss made by Olympic Limited can be relieved. How relief will be given for research and development expenditure in the year ending 30th June 2027. ठीक है. ये देखो तो ओलंपिक लिमिटेड का. एग्जिबिट 1 में ओलंपिक लिमिटेड के बारे में क्या लिखा है? कुछ लिखा है और ऑब्जर्व. Tell me. Acha, what is the question expectation? Question expectation is how any trading losses made by Olympic Limited in the year ending 30th June 2027 can be relieved. What is your take on that? How can you relieve the losses made by Olympic Limited?
Normally, like the current year and the
Hmm.
prior year, and you can also carry it forward.
Okay. Is it any group reliefs that can be claimed? Trading loss made by Olympic Limited, could it be offset against taxable total profits of Sprint Limited and any company which is a 75% subsidiary of Sprint Limited? What do you think? Is that possible? एक तो खुद का टोटल इनकम एंड गेन्स ऑफ दिस पीरियड, या फिर of the previous 12 months, या फिर current period taxable profits of Sprint Limited and any other company which is a part of the 75% group, right? Then it can be carried forward by Olympic Limited and set off against future total profits. है ना? Okay. कैन यू, अभी ये जो रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट एक्सपेंडिचर वाला पार्ट है, दिस इज ऑल्सो अ प्योर डायरेक्ट थियोरी क्वेश्चन. ओके, आई एम गिविंग यू 1 minute. Think about it कि how will you get the relief for research and development expenditure, and then we'll discuss it together. अच्छा, यहाँ से ना एक eventual sale of iron limited डिस्कस करना रह गया था, so we'll discuss that also. बट अभी ये उठाया है तो ये खत्म करते हैं, ठीक है. ओपन योर नोट्स इफ रिक्वायर्ड, गो थ्रू द R&D रिलीफ, ठीक है. टेक अ मिनट, आई विल बी बैक एंड देन वील कंटिन्यू. चलो, व्हाट कैन यू टेल मी अबाउट रिलीफ फॉर R&D एक्सपेंडिचर?
So 20% of the qualifying R&D expenditures are added in the TTP and then again deducted from the income tax liability.
हम्म.
And that's it. And you can, matlab, if you don't use it this year, you can also carry it forward or again reclaim it from the HMRC, or you can also give it to your 75% group relief.
Okay, fair enough. Mishri, do you agree with what she said, or you have a different take on this?
No, sir, I agree.
Okay. Krisha, dono Krisha. Do you agree with what Lavina said? See, when it comes to R&D relief, क्या है? Company can claim 20% tax credit for qualifying revenue expenditure. कैसे लेंगे? 20% of qualifying expenditure is included as an additional amount of trading income. वो trading income में ऐड हो जाएगा, एंड tax credit equal to the same amount is offset against corp tax liability for the same accounting period, right? अब अगर कंपनी does not have any corp tax liability, that unused tax credit can be carried forward and used against corp tax in the future, or surrendered to a 75% group company, or you can also claim it as a repayment from HMRC. तो आपके पास टैक्स क्रेडिट के रिलेटेड तीन ऑप्शंस है. What are the three options available to you? सबसे अच्छा, first thing that you should do is whatever is the amount of tax credit, ठीक है, वो टैक्स क्रेडिट जो मतलब वॉट एवर इज दैट 20% अमाउंट, पहले आप उसको ऐड कर दो. कहाँ पे ऐड करेंगे? इन द टोटल इनकम, ठीक है, और टोटल ट्रेडिंग इनकम में ऐड कर दो. एंड देन द सेम अमाउंट जो अभी आपने ऐड किया, दैट अमाउंट हैज टू बी क्लेम्ड एज क्रेडिट, ठीक है. अब वो क्रेडिट कैसे क्लेम करेंगे? करंट ईयर के टोटल टैक्स लाइबिलिटी के अगेंस्ट यू कैन एडजस्ट इट, or you can surrender it within the 75% group, or you can carry it forward, or you can claim it as a repayment from HMRC. Make sense? ठीक है.
Yes, sir.
ओके, ये देखिए.
Done, sir.
Done, everyone? Have a look. If you want me to scroll up, down, You have any questions whatsoever, please ask me. ठीक है, चलो. Sprint Limited rental income. Explain the matters we should draw to Christina's attention with regards to the non-disclosure of rental income in Sprint Limited and any actions that our firm should take. क्या है रेंटल इनकम वाला सीन? Sprint Limited has recently started renting out some of its surplus office space for £1,000 a month. As the amount is quite small, I do not plan on disclosing this to HMRC since it is immaterial. एक तो you are not doing financial reporting to use the term material or immaterial, right? If it is income, it should be included. ठीक है? If it is income, it should be included. ये basically ethics का question है ना?
Yes, sir.
We should the very fact that it is irrelevant उसको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. ठीक है. You should check your engagement letter also to see if you have the authority to disclose the income to HMRC. If not, all you can do. See, you cannot breach client confidentiality, but you should tell the client ki you should do it. Bring it to Sprint Limited's attention that if they don't make that particular disclosure, then they will be subject to penalties. If they still refuse to disclose the income, you might consider resigning from the engagement. When you resign, you should send a written notification to HMRC stating that you are no longer going to act for Sprint Limited, but you should not disclose why. ठीक है? Because if you disclose the why part of it, तो क्या होगा? There will be breach of confidentiality, right? तो breach of confidentiality अपने को नहीं चाहिए. And if required, you might evaluate, do you want to make a disclosure to the firm's money laundering reporting officer? ठीक है. So evaluate it from that perspective also. ये जो ethics वाला part है, if I were in your place, मैं क्या करता? I would take all the section A questions और सबका ethics वाला, एक दिन बैठो, take 2 hours एंड सब के सब एथिक्स वाले आंसर्स देख लो. सारे 18-19 क्वेश्चंस हैं आपके पास, सारे एथिक्स के देख लो. यू आर अश्योर्ड ऑफ 5 मार्क्स मिनिमम इन द ATX पे. सेक्शन 1 में 5 मार्क्स तो फिक्स हो जाएंगे, राइट? अनदर 3-4 मैक्सिमम 5 मार्क्स तक आपको वैट से मिल जाएगा. एंड देन ऑफ कोर्स ग्रुप रिलीफ एंड कैपिटल गेन्स एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट. टुडेस क्वेश्चन कवर्ड सो मेनी डिफरेंट एस्पेक्ट्स, राइट? वो फ्रीजिंग ऑफ गेन भी डिस्कस हुआ, फिर depreciating asset डिस्कस हुआ, रोल ओवर हुआ, देन बेनिफिट्स ऑफ acquiring मतलब benefits of Sprint Limited acquiring Ion Limited versus the individual person acquiring that company, उसके जो comparative benefits थे वो discuss हुए. So we got exposed to quite a lot of different situations in this question. Plus वो 12 month 6 month वाला था तो marginal relief भी हमने consider किया. तो what section A questions are doing for us is, by doing one question we are able to revise so many different questions, correct? अब we did one question yesterday, we did one question today. We'll be doing one more question tomorrow. Tomorrow's timing I will let you know, but tomorrow I think I want to pick up something from individuals. ठीक है? We discussed everything, just one part. Eventual sale of Ion Limited by either Christina or Sprint. So again आपको comparison करके बताना है. If Christina acquires Sprint Limited and then she sells Sprint Limited, तो क्या होगा? If Christina acquires Ion Limited का shares and then she sells Ion Limited का shares, तो क्या होगा? And if somebody else, as in Sprint Limited acquires the shares of Ion Limited and then sells it off, तो क्या difference होगा? ठीक है, we have to evaluate that. अब if Sprint Limited owns Ion Limited का shares, ठीक है, then any chargeable gain or loss on the sale of shares will be exempt due to substantial shareholding exemption, right? write down the conditions for substantial shareholding exemption, and then say here you were holding at least 10% shares for a minimum period of 12 months. So, and plus Ion Limited is a trading company, so substantial shareholding exemption will apply. ठीक है. So ultimately क्या होगा, that gain will become exempt. ठीक है. उसके आगे क्या लिखा है? See, here they have mentioned कि ultimately that money is going to be used by uh, this person to do what? She is going to purchase a holiday home. तो even if Sprint Limited sells Ion Limited का shares, Sprint Limited वो पैसा किसको ट्रांसफर करेगा? क्रिस्टीना को ट्रांसफर करेगा, राइट? अब how will that money get transferred? Mostly it will get transferred by way of dividend, है ना? They have
Yes,
mentioned
sir.
that Christina is a higher rate taxpayer with substantial amount of investment income, right? ऐसा लिखा है ना, that Christina is a higher rate taxpayer with substantial amount of investment income. I had read it. हाँ, यहीं पे लिखा है. She is a higher rate taxpayer with a substantial amount of investment income. Investment income मतलब interest on FDs and bonds and dividend income, right? If there is substantial investment income मतलब heavy dividend मिला होगा उसको. If there is heavy dividend, that means she must have used her dividend income nil rate band, right? तो अब जो भी उसको कंपनी से पैसा मिलेगा ऑन दैट शी विल हैव टू पे, बिकॉज नाउ शी इज इन द हायर रेट बैंड, शी विल हैव टू पे 33.75% टैक्स और इवन 39.35% टैक्स इफ शी गोज इनटू द एडिशनल रेट बैंड. करेक्ट. So, Sprint Limited will sell the shares in Ion Limited. Sprint Limited will claim substantial shareholding exemption के basis पे it will exempt the gain. But proceeds will be transferred to Christina in the form of dividend. तो Christina को उस पे tax, income tax pay करना पड़ेगा on the dividend income. ठीक है. If Christina holds shares personally तो क्या होगा? There will be a chargeable gain naturally. ठीक है. But this will be her personal trading company. तो do you think she will get BADR here?
Yes, sir.
Business asset disposal relief when sold. ठीक है. So and she has, because she is anyway fulfilling the conditions. So when Christina owns it personally, she will have the distinct advantage of getting the gain taxed at a relatively lower rate. On the other hand, if Sprint Limited owns the Ion Limited shares and then Sprint Limited disposes it off, Sprint Limited को तो मिल जाएगा अच्छे से substantial shareholding exemption and it will exempt the gain. But ये जो when it pays the amount to Christina, that amount will go in the form of dividend or in the hands of Christina. She is already a higher rate taxpayer, right? तो क्या प्रॉब्लम होगा? डिविडेंड विल बी टैक्स्ड एट 39, मतलब पहले 37 थोड़े 33.75, उसके बाद इफ शी एंड्स अप गोइंग टू द हायर रेट बैंड तो क्या होगा? शी विल हैव टू पे 39.35% टैक्स. सो डिस्पोजल एंगल से क्रिस्टीना ओनिंग द शेयर्स पर्सनली आई थिंक मेक्स वे मोर सेंस. व्हाट डू यू थिंक?
Yes, sir.
बीएडीआर कंपनीज को नहीं मिलता ना, कंपनीज को सिर्फ एक रिलीफ मिलता है, दैट इज रोल ओवर. करेक्ट.
Yes, sir.
ओके. सो कितना कुछ फिर से वी वर एबल टू कवर इन दिस क्वेश्चन. ओके.